All right, folks, welcome back to the Live at a Dollar Podcast Network. It's fantasy football time. It's time for Radio and the Nose Fantasy Football Show. As you see, my partner in crime sitting right next to me right here. We'll talk about the week that was, the week that is, a couple observations for what's going on in this week. We'll get yes or no's underway. And then, of course, at the end of every podcast, it's time for the Nose Pick of the Week. With that said, let me introduce, as always, my partner in crime, the man himself, the Nose. Nosy, welcome back to Radio's Yard.
Nose is here.
He is.
We're here to help. We're here for week 7.
Week 7.
Yeah, I've been waiting on week 7 for a while. You know why?
Why?
Raishi Rice.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
I've been waiting on you, Raishi Rice, for a long time. Nobody I recommended more, no player I like more than Raishi Rice. He was a nose pick of the year, and then has the first 2 games last year, and then it was over.
He was on record pace through 2 games.
I was feeling
like
so good.
140 catches,
yeah,
nasty.
If you drafted him and have yourself in a position of 5-1, 4-2, and even 3-3, you're looking great because you're plugging in a wide receiver 1. Know it and get him in your lineup. But week 7 always just rang a bell for me because it was like draft him and then figure out a way to survive until right now.
Right.
Because you're plugging in, if it's a keeper league, he's a keeper. If for me, 2nd to 3rd round fantasy value, and right now with Mahomes and KC, I'm getting right off to it. That is a hell of an offense I'm looking forward to seeing this week.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one this week as well. We'll talk about this week's schedule coming up in a second. I want to go over some of the stats from last week at Nose's observation. This is one of the funniest ones because I'm going off ESPN stats. We're not going off the fantasy football stats. Cool. That's how I'm going off it. And when I look at the top 3 quarterbacks, stat-wise, I don't know if we're in a time machine, a different multiverse, or what's going on in the world right now. But number 1 last week, threw 347 yards. This is only for yardage, by the way. Mac Jones. He had 2 picks as well, but he was the top yardage passing quarterback last week. And then Jacoby Brissett is number 2 on that list. And number 3 is Sam Darnold. Like, in a million years, you could say to me, in week 6 of the NFL season, these 3 quarterbacks are going to be the top 3 statistical leaders in passing yardage. And I would have said, you are bananas. There's no way. What did you think about those 3 quarterbacks?
And I would say this is fantasy football and the NFL as you see it. Anything can happen. Mac Jones has looked great. His connection with Kendrick Bourne is legit. But it looks like Brock Purdy's going to be, getting back to being ready. And there goes that Mac Jones show, which arguably looked really good. And it just shows maybe Purdy is in a great situation because it's a system offense where you put in smart, capable quarterbacks and they could put up some numbers and fantasy stats and get you wins. The one that is just wild is how Brissett, the brisket man, still is being discussed after all of these years as a backup. He always finds a way, whether it's with the Dolphins and now with the Cardinals. What is interesting to me is it shows me, wow, he did that well. Where's Kyler Murray been? And I'm not overall that hyped up on Kyler. I wasn't coming into this year.
But
what?
Jacoby Brissett does better in that offense than Kyler Murray does?
That's the concern. If that's your but, then yes.
Yes, the but is what if you're a Kyler Murray fan right now, a fan or owner, and Jacoby Brissett comes in for a game, goes for 320 and 2 touchdowns. I don't know what's going to happen every week.
I'm done with Kyler Murray on a fantasy level. Look, I never loved it. He's never put up those big stats besides his rookie and second year. He's not running the ball as much. With a player like him, you want it like a Lamar Jr. type of thing. It just never panned out. And now you see Brissett come in, and he's performing as well as Kyler Murray. It just shows me that maybe Kyler Murray's not it. And trust me, Brissett overall is not it.
He's not at all.
Okay.
So if that's your answer,
he had a decent game.
He did. Yep. And then Darnold, 295 and 2 touchdowns as well for Seattle. Just Mr. Consistency over the last 2 years.
He is good.
Right.
Okay, I know it's not sexy, but last year he did it, right? He did it with a Minnesota team that had Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson. He goes elsewhere, and everyone's like, no, that was a product of that system. No, that is an accurate quarterback. Now, we know he choked in the playoffs last year,
of course,
but that is not the fantasy playoffs. Right now, the best connection in fantasy, because it's the best wide receiver, is JSN over there in Seattle. And if you have him and drafted him, he's by far the number 1 wide receiver. He surpassed Puka Nacua this past week. His route running is what we would call extreme elite. And right now, that's the player, right now, the it guy. And Darnold gets some credit. Now, again, fantasy-wise, Darnold is performing more in that, 10-ish range.
Right.
Well, 7 to 10-ish range.
Right.
Am I trusting him week in, week out? Maybe I am. But overall, JSN is the reason why Darnold is looking this good. He's the
so
next
good.
great,
Yeah.
Route running wide receiver in the NFL.
Where do you go to college to play it under?
Along with all of them.
Brian Hartline and the I know, best wide receiver coach of all time.
I mean, we're a feeder. This program's a feeder, right? They just keep coming out.
Right.
Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate's going to be a first-round pick this year. It doesn't stop. Olave, Garrett Wilson. We could keep going on. Kobe, help me out. Who am I missing?
Probably a bunch.
Marv, thank you.
Right, Maserati. Right?
Maserati. It just doesn't stop.
Right.
And so, and we got one more, Emeka Egbuka, who we're going to talk about. So it's just a machine over there.
Yeah.
You had to bring it up.
I did. Well, Brian Hartline. Shout out to Brian Hartline.
Go Gators
as well.
to even it out.
Right. Rico Dowdle. Is that how you say his last name?
Yeah.
183 yards, 30 carries. I think that 183 is a good number. That's a huge number. The fact he got 30 carries in the game. Good Lord.
What you're not mentioning is the 56 receiving yards he had and a touchdown. Rico Dowdle in the last 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, 23 carries for 200 and a touchdown. And just as my man radio just said here, 30 for 183. Drop another 56 in the air and a touchdown. Let's just call him a must start for now. Let's not get too excited about it. I'm really interested to see what it looks like when Chubba Hubba is fully back and healthy. But right now, Rico, Uncle Rico, Puerto Rico, however you want to Rico it, put him in your lineup, Rico.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Number 2 running back last week, who I don't know his receiving yards off the top of my head, but we know this guy, Bijan Robinson, 170 and a touchdown. Also had an 81-yard boom also in that game. But he's catching the ball in the backfield. He is the number 1 running back in fantasy this year, correct?
Currently, he is number 2.
Is he number 2?
Jonathan Taylor is still number 1 overall. Wow, you asked me a question and I knew the answer.
Right off the top of your head without looking at your notes.
Well, actually, a little cheating, but it's okay.
It's okay. That's fine.
Bijan Robinson is exactly what you wanted when you drafted him in the between 1, 2, or 3. That was a breakout game. So many fantasy owners came in to Monday Night Football, right? Millions of leagues across the league, exact millions. And there's how many hundreds of thousands of leagues had Bijan Robinson in range to win or lose their league. They all won, okay? That guy had a monster performance over 200 yards, the 81-yard touchdown, where in many leagues that I'm in, which I enjoy, you get bonus points for yardage on long touchdowns. Bijan Robinson is him. Is that what the kids say?
Right.
All right, I know.
It's Timothy.
Oh, wow.
Someone said that in my chat today. That's how I did that.
Well, I'm not trying to be the young guy. The gray hair says it all, okay?
Yeah,
but Bijan Robinson is good at football.
Achane, 128 yards and 2 touchdowns also on the ground, which was interesting. And then another guy that I think a lot of teams, and you'll be a better one to answer this, had to start last week because of possible injury or because of bye week, Vidal
Sassoon.
Vidal Sassoon.
Vidal Sassoon.
124 on the ground. This guy was nice. It was fun to watch last week.
18 rushes is the key to this because the question we all asked last week, somebody asked me on the show, am I starting Vidal Sassoon or am I going with Haskins? And my answer was I don't know because nobody knew. All right? Haskins was higher up, believe it or not, on the
depth chart.
Not, whether it's the depth charts or whether it's the Yahoo, ESPN, or CBS, he was the more recommended one. And so I think more people picked up Haskins and started him when it was Vidal Sassoon who had the better of the game. Again, with Hampton out, I still think this is going to be a split job, and I think this is going to be one that is it's a risky play. Only 2 teams on bye week with decent quarterbacks. That's the Bills and the Ravens. But that being said, both of them, James Cook and Henry, if you have to start a Vidal Sassoon, obviously it would be preferred over a Haskins. But again, I'm expecting a step backwards, not a step forwards.
George Pickens led the way in the wide receiver category, 9 catches, $168 and a touchdown there. JSN, 8 for 162 and a touchdown. Drake London, talk about that Atlanta offense. Finally, 10 catches, $158 and a touchdown as well. And then Kendrick Bourne, like you said before, 5 for 142. And then at tight end, rounds out the top 5. Joe Dirt, another big game from Joe Dirt there, 9 for 110 and a touchdown. Interesting.
Thursday night, Joe Dirt was an exciting start if you had him in your lineup.
And we did.
Answer me this. You're going into Thursday. You have the pleasure of starting a tight end. I'll even add a defense or even if in the crazy situation, a kicker, and you have a Joe Dirt come out with a 22 to 25 fantasy points to start your week off. Oh, That is just the ultimate fun Thursday night situation. And I specifically
26, by the way, for Team Broch and Radio and Nose last week.
I specifically bring up those positions because it's just enough action on the Thursday. I don't love the Thursday night action. It's just enough action though that if they blow up, you're like, oh, my tight end, check, and see how the weekend falls.
We were playing against Kobe's team last week.
And who won?
2 weeks ago.
Was it 2 weeks ago? Wasn't last week? Oh, okay.
You won both the weeks, didn't you?
We did.
So the wins just get mixed up in your head.
The losses don't. The losses.
Is tied for first place bad?
If it is, then I want to be a bad man. How about that? I want to be a bad man.
And I got an eye on your other league too, by the way.
Not bad either. The other one, not. The third one's not so great.
Let me explain to you guys something. When this guy is not doing well in fantasy and you have to do a fantasy show with him, it's not great. It's not sexy. But this guy's got a really good situation going on right now. Makes it all a little bit more fun and playful.
Yep, tied for first in 2 leagues and dead last in another, and I'll take that all day long. Twice on Sundays. Right, exactly. All right. Other observations from this week before we get into yes or no's. I know you got a lot of notes on your paper. I'd like to see how that all actually translates into something to be said. Because it does look like some crazy ass other language. Let's hear it.
I just always like going, a specific theme per week as to, now we're through 6 weeks.
Right.
Okay. How many fantasy weeks are there? I know playoffs start in week 15.
Yeah.
So, you're the more the math guy, but we're heading towards the midway point.
Nine good weeks left.
9 good weeks
left.
left.
That's what I'm thinking, right?
But I wanted to bring up a point and go over the positions. And my biggest miss so far is the best player in the NFL, and that's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Mahomes, my bad. You're putting up fantasy stats. You're
nasty.
Rushing the ball a lot more than I thought. Number 1 quarterback in fantasy overall right now. And as we started the show with, he's just bringing back his best wide receiver, Rashee Rice, right now.
That's scary.
So it is going to be scary because Rashee Rice is going to run a lot of the patterns that Travis Kelce had over all those years. This is not a guy, they're going to send Xavier Worthy down the field and Hollywood Brown down the field. But a lot of the 7 to 10 yard gets, we're talking about 10-plus target type of player and a lot of receptions, a lot of PPR happiness. So Pat Mahomes is going to continue probably to do well when he's adding such a weapon. But overall, Baker Mayfield, number 2 quarterback overall. Thank you. All right. We discussed it. We loved you on the show. We loved you coming into the show.
Right.
It doesn't even matter that Mike Evans and Ibuka's hurt. Now, maybe it does hurt him a little bit, but he's got 2 Johnsons. He's got a Cam Johnson and he's got a Tez Johnson on each side.
Wow.
And those Johnsons, Johnson and Johnson, are going to be extremely electric for him, especially Tez Johnson. For those who paid attention to Oregon football or know the 7-on-7 circuit, this is one of the most electric, fast players in the league, and I expect him to have a very good connection with Baker. The league is on notice for these Johnsons, but I'm going to go Tez a little bit more than Cam. I know I'm talking Johnson crazy.
It's tough to have one small Johnson, having 2 big Johnsons. Wow, that's awesome.
That's a lot of Johnson talk, again, which is a very, like, we're an old man joke right there.
Yeah,
You're talking big Johnsons and small Johnsons.
I used to have all those shirts, right? Like the big Johnson.
Oh, God, here we go.
Yeah.
So, number 4, Dak Prescott. Dude, consistent, and it's been
Team stinks, but
it's been George Pickens show.
I know.
We'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah,
but why I wanted to bring this up, why I've been leading towards this, is the most impressive young player at the quarterback position, in my opinion, and a team that is going to really bother you.
Oh God, I know where you're going here.
But the Dolphins can't make the right decision. God knows the Browns haven't made the right decision in the last 20 years.
Right.
How do the Patriots just come out and grab Drake May like that?
God.
He is it. Guys, we have a franchise quarterback. And number 5 overall in fantasy. And his weapons are
iffy. They're iffy.
I mean, Demario Douglas is not going to have, 70-yard touchdowns all the time. And Diggs is good, not great.
But not consistently.
The booty is good, not great. Wait until they get themselves like a wide receiver 1, a la when Brady got, Mr.
Randy Moss, Wes Welker.
Right. Now, I'm not getting that ahead of myself. I'm not calling Drake May Tom Brady. What I am saying is, from a fantasy point of view, you're starting him, okay? He uses his legs. He is smart, and he is throwing the ball, and he's got the full reins. So Drake May, if you have, along with another top elite quarterback, it's time to make a trade. In a one quarterback system, you do not need Drake May and a player like a Lamar Jackson or a Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. And maybe there's a situation where you have both of them because maybe Drake May was taken lower and he is your backup. Okay. I don't have a problem with you trading Pat Mahomes and or Josh Allen, believe it or not, if you could get a major splash, because I think Drake May is going to cover that quarterback position just fine.
Wow, that's interesting, too, because I didn't know how Drake May was going to pan out. I don't think anyone, when he was drafted, thought he would be maybe – it's too early to say this now, but he could be a top quarterback in that draft.
I mean, look, it could have been Mitch Trubisky, who came from the same school, but no. Drafted in the same spot, but no. No, this guy looks – legitimately,
he's scary. As a Dolphins fan, he's scary to watch.
And as a Patriots fan, those cocky guys are just going to remain cocky. Let's run over the running back position because I want to bring up, where we started and where we are. Running back position is a little bit more consistent with the top guys are at the top, but we didn't expect Jonathan Taylor to be number one.
No way.
We didn't.
No way.
But we always knew he had the ability to.
Sure,
because nobody saw the Colts.
But how many running backs have we seen over the last 20 years in the NFL? Will be like the number one guy in fantasy 2 years in a row and then fall off a cliff.
Correct.
Like just be gone. Like he's not. JT was that.
He was number one.
Season, but he was before the season. He fell off a cliff.
I wouldn't call it a cliff fall, but it was a back to reality check. But now, number one.
Right.
Number two, we discussed it, Bijan.
Yeah.
Number three, which we discussed as in a redraft league, would be my number one. I'm still holding to it. Bijan's got me by the ropes here. But Christian McCaffrey is, again, having a very consistent season. Hasn't had his biggest games yet. And is number 3 overall amongst all running backs. A-Chain, number 4.
Wow.
Javonte Williams hanging on to number
How
5.
is that possible?
I expect it to come down where Jimmy Cook is number 6. And I expect after 2 very subpar games, Jimmy Cook will have a comeback. As that weather gets colder in Buffalo, Jimmy Cook's going to get those rushes. He's going to break long ones. And currently number 6 overall amongst all running backs.
Yeah, I think the surprise in that list is Javonte. JT obviously being number 1, but if he was 5 or 6 on this list, I would say, okay, not bad. But Javonte being on that list, top 5, top 10 even at this point, I would say, wow, that's the biggest surprise out of all these.
He's held on. Yeah. He's held on. Again, at some point, it all becomes a reality. Right now, Javonte Williams is a must-start in all fantasy leagues until he's proven to be otherwise. You ride that train. Even if he's your flex, he's still to be in there. But I do expect the productivity to come down a little bit. CD Lamb is due back. They're going to keep throwing the ball a bunch. And overall, I just don't think he's going to be able to hold up on this rate. But you know what? You never know.
You never know. That's the beauty of fantasy football. So where do we got wide receivers next?
Wide receivers. Number 1, we discussed him. JSN. Number 2, after a big scare last week, it looks like it's going to be okay. Puka Nacua obviously had a very rough week last week, got injured. It looked bad. He came back in, then he was out again. But it looks like overall avoided a large injury. Thank God for his fantasy owners. He's at number 2. Then here's where we're going to have some fun. Slim Pickens. We will call him Carl Slim Pickens for those old school people who remember the Valve trash. But Pickens looked really good.
Really good.
I'm recommending, if you can right now, I know it's a little obvious, but currently number 3 overall wide receiver through 6 weeks.
I think I know where you're going here.
Trade him.
Yeah, I knew it.
Trade him.
Right.
CD Lamb is coming back. CD Lamb is the alpha. Now, don't get me wrong. Can George Pickens remain a top 10, top 15 wide receiver with CD Lamb? Absolutely. But there are so many injuries right now, and we're going to get into that in a moment, where the injuries are piled up at the wide receiver position the most by a lot.
Right.
So if your team needs a little depth, a nice 2-for-1, and I'm talking about getting really a good decent haul back.
Right.
Pickens is a player I recommend trading. And kudos for you to drafting him because I got him in every league.
Right.
And I am currently in the leagues where I have a few injuries. I'm trying to get 2 viable starters for him. And I got people listening. Number 4, the most boring number 4, but we know it. Amon-Ra St. Brown, to me, the number 1 most consistent overall wide receiver, is at number 4 in the league. And he's been extremely, again, doing his business, but does it quietly.
Right.
And now, unfortunately, there's an injury to this one, but Emeka Egbuka comes in currently at number 5. Really concerned about the injury. We're expecting today, as this show progresses, to understand the severity of it. I don't like hamstring injuries for my wide receiver,
Me either.
Zach.
No. I don't like it.
You had the cojones to draft him.
Uh-huh.
You repped all the benefits.
Right.
This sucks.
This sucks. This is right now probably the hottest wide receiver in the league outside what you said, JSN.
Yeah.
He's that guy. Puka got a little banged up. Otherwise, Puka would be there too. Like you said, George Pickens right there as well. Ross St. Brown, great. Obviously, one of the great. Abuka has been the most electric receiver this year.
Yeah.
Because he's with Baker. Because of that combination, he's with Baker. And now it's like, it's almost like those dreaded two words you don't want to hear, like soft tissue.
Oh, it's another bad one.
Hamstring is right
Hamstring.
Right,
Two syllables.
right.
Terrible.
Terrible.
So we're wishing for the best of luck for him, just like Omarion Hampton. Hopefully it's like 4 weeks, and then it's because he's expected to come back after the 4 weeks. Hopefully it's just like shut him down, survive in advance, get him back fully healthy. That's what I think fantasy owners should be hoping for with Emeka Egbuka. We'll just finish up quickly with the tight ends.
Okay.
Which is just because, everybody went out there and grabbed Bowers early. Unfortunately, that has not panned out.
Terrible.
A lot of people went out there and got Kittle early. Unfortunately, that hasn't panned out.
Right.
Number 1 is the Fergie. He's bootylicious. No, did I get that right? Fergie-licious.
It was close.
Terrible.
Bootylicious is fine. I would have taken it. I would have taken it.
Name the band she was in? Kenya?
Destiny's Child.
No, that's incorrect. That's Beyonce. You went with Destiny's Child.
I did.
I'm not even going to go
Fergie.
there. Fergie.
Black Eyed Peas.
Thank you. You know what? I was completely blanking, praying you'd come up with it.
You're welcome.
You did it. Number 2, Tyler Warren. Loved him.
I love this guy.
Dude, you could go check the tape. The bottom line was if you weren't going to go and get one of those top guys, you were to wait to take Tyler Warren.
Right.
And he is exactly as advertised. Joe Dirt, number 3 overall.
He's been great.
He's been really consistent.
I think Kobe's team dropped Dallas Goedert. Were you the team that dropped Dallas Goedert in our league?
No, we didn't.
Someone dropped Dallas Goedert in our league, and the next week we picked him up. He had 40 points. Like it was just
So good.
It was a good one, right?
Trey McBride at 4 and then Kelsey at 5. But I want to make a point with this. Those guys have 65, 60 fantasy. Let's call it between 60 to 65 in a league. Well, if they were in a wide receiver position, they'd be like the 25th ranked overall wide receiver. And that's not good. That's bad. So Trey McBride, Travis Kelsey. Now, McBride was drafted to be way much better than obviously Kelsey. But overall, the tight end position has been a disaster. And Ferguson's been great, but once Lamb comes back, that's going to be less targets for him.
Right.
Unquestioned there. Whew. If you went early on tight end, it does not look good. Just period.
Bowers has been just a nightmare for any Bowers owners. Kittle obviously getting hurt. That's a big one too. And
Bowers got hurt too. So you got to. He played through an injury that he shouldn't have. They shut him down now. He should be out until after their bye week, which is next week, and then try to bring him back healthy. And that's the overall goal. And for fantasy purposes, I know it's hard because you got to pick up. God knows who you're picking up. In terms of your tight end these days.
I'll tell you exactly as a Brock Bowers owner.
Okay,
Mason Taylor.
It's a good one.
That was like my, oh God, what do I do here? And I don't think Ferguson was available at the time, and none of the other guys you talked about were available. No Goat and Joe Dirt, all those guys were all gone. But like Mason Taylor was the guy. So that's, as a Bowers owner, that's where I went to. Like,
sure.
I didn't get a backup tight end to start the season.
You
It was
could go
Bowers or bust.
Yeah,
Right.
go pick up a Kyle Pitts. You could go pick up.
Right.
But the bottom line is, it's not great.
No.
And Bowers and Kittle, those injuries, hopefully, hopefully you'll rebound for them during the fantasy playoffs.
Right, that would be something. And Kittle coming back, hopefully Purdy coming back, maybe it does help out a little bit at that point as well. All right, we're going to go through the schedule a little bit. We'll get to yes or no's as well. Any other notes that you want to throw out there before we keep going?
Yeah, I just want to say I want to apologize for all the fantasy owners. Not apologize, that's actually the wrong word. I feel bad for you. I want to sympathize.
That's the word.
I want to sympathize. I'm not great with my vocabulary, but usually people understand what I mean. I want to sympathize because right now you're through 6 weeks and you could be massacred with injuries. And it's just a part of the landscape of fantasy, and every year it happens.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to have a list of players right now that I just want to say I feel for you if you are these owners or if you drafted them, because this is painful. At the quarterback position, nothing was worse than Joe Burrow. It was a disaster, and also, the wide receivers that go with him took a big hit there. Joe Burrow, obviously, I just said, but then Lamar. Look, Lamar hasn't been Lamar. He's out this week. He was out the last 2 weeks.
Right.
It's a bye this week. He'll be back, But this is not what you signed up for
No
when you
way.
drafted
Right.
probably your number 1 overall quarterback or number 2. Brock Purdy and J.J. McCarthy also add to that list. At the running back position, Bucky Irving was looking great, got hurt. Omarion Hampton was looking great, hurt. Chubba Hubba was doing just fine. He gets hurt, and then look at the numbers that Puerto Rico puts up.
Yeah.
But this is the list. I put Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson in this area. They're totally healthy, but their quarterback's getting hurt.
Yeah.
Took them down a notch. Man, C.D. Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Puka Nacua had that little
But these are elite number ones that you're talking about right now.
How about
Elite
Tyreek Hill?
number ones. Right. Elite number one.
How about Garrett Wilson? And let's just throw in the Bowers and the Kittle just for dessert.
Right.
So overall, sorry guys, that sucks. And sometimes you can't recover from that. And you know what you do? You just fold up shop. Don't do anything stupid. Don't make any other teams better because you're bored, and just take the L and go to next year. You heard me, Kobe. That being
Don't
said,
listen, Kobe.
I know.
All good. So I just wanted to give a little love to those because I know it hurts. So if you're hearing me and you're one of those guys, Emeka Ibuka, I forgot to just mention again on this, it's getting really rough and it's getting bad, but it's fantasy.
It's fantasy football.
Keep going.
Part of the game, right?
Pick up
Part of the
Wan'Dale
game.
Robinson. Do whatever you got to do.
Right.
Figure it out.
All right, we're going to get to yes or no's here in just a second. Let me go over the schedule for this week, Thursday night. Wow. In Cincinnati are the Flying Kobe's, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Go to Cincinnati on a Thursday night matchup, 8:15. There's a 9:30 a.m. game on Sunday morning. The Los Angeles Rams are playing Jacksonville at Wembley Stadium. 1 o'clock slate. Saints and the Bears. Miami at Cleveland in the Toilet Bowl. New England at Tennessee. Vegas at KC, which is actually a decent game, well, for Kansas City owners. Philly at Minnesota. That could be the game of the week right there. Carolina at the Jets. That's the 1 o'clock slate right there. 4 o'clock, Giants at Denver. Indy at the Chargers. Washington at Dallas, Green Bay at Arizona, and Sunday Night Football, Atlanta at San Francisco. And then, how about a doubleheader, a real doubleheader, not the 7:15, 8:15
What we got?
doubleheaders. Monday Night Football, the Baker Mayfields play the Goffs. Tampa Bay at Detroit. That is the game of the week, excuse me. And then Houston at Seattle at 10 o'clock on Monday night. Not bad.
It's for the fantasy junkie.
Right, a fantasy junkie.
God,
Right.
I just pray I have, and there's no chance it's going to happen because of how spread out my fantasy world is. Man, I just want to sleep that night and be
Have
able to,
nothing going
I
on.
want to. My trick is, because again I'm old, but hit the record button. If you snooze out, wake up in the morning, put it right back to where you are live, and you got a little fast forward. But I will not look at my phone, and I will let the excitement happen
You have
in front
to
of my
at that
eyes,
point, right.
even if it's 6:30 a.m.
Right. Yeah, at that point, you have to. You have to do that. All right, so at your slate, Buffalo and Baltimore, like you said before, on bye. This is a rough one for Buffalo and Baltimore. Although you're struggling anyway.
Right. There's gonna be everyone's on a bye week, so
Right.
you're gonna have your moment. Right now, you're Josh Allen. Fantasy owners, good luck. A lot of Trevor Lawrence is available. Those type of players in one quarterback leagues. Scoop somebody up that might get 250 yards and 2 touchdowns and call it a day. That's all you're gonna do. Same with the Lamar Jackson owners.
It's that time of the show right now.
Oh, it is.
That's right. For the award-winning segment we like to call Yes or No's. That's right. We'll ask 10 questions to the no's. Kobe will be involved as well. 9 questions will be fantasy football. 1 will be a life question. And this life question this week is inspiration for Kobe.
Inspiration for Kobe.
Coming from the nose.
It's better than
so
it's
not
just-
really a question at this point. It's more of a life advice.
Oh.
That the nose will be giving.
I got plenty to say, and I have
Right,
no
right.
idea what the question is.
Right, no idea yet. There's two in my head. Whatever one comes to bat.
I got opinions. That's
I
for
know
sure.
you do. That's why we like doing this and embarrassing Kobe at the same time. All right, question number 1.
Good luck, Kobe.
I am a Tyrone Tracy owner. I'm dropping him immediately. Yes or no's?
Yes, it's Cam. It's the Scattaboo show. We believed on him in this show. We recommended him as nose pick of the week. He's a must start each week. They're going to rely on those rookies. And yeah, Tracy, it's time to drop. Unless you have one of those deep leagues, you got Cam,
Right.
and you want to handcuff him. It's the only scenario I don't mind.
I'm a Chuba Hubbard owner, and in this case, a Chuba Hubba owner at this point. But I'm starting Rico Dowdle even when he comes back. Yes or no's?
Yes, until Rico tells us otherwise, that's the starter. Hey, sometimes in a season, stars come out, out of the woodworks. That maybe I'm not saying it is. I know the matchups were pretty good, but right now, when you put up a 200-plus game and then a 183-plus game, touchdowns in both games, you have earned the start until otherwise.
This one hurts. He'll be a top 3 fantasy quarterback when the season's over. His name is Drake May. Yes or no's?
Yes, it's only getting better.
Right.
It's only getting better. Oh my God, he's good.
He's good.
He's good.
He's really good.
I know. I don't like it.
No, me either. As
But
a Dolphins fan, it hurts me to watch that.
Exactly.
But as an NFL fan, it's fun to watch.
No, he's
him
good.
Play.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
It's fun to watch that.
It's nice to see the future, the young quarterbacks that
Right.
you know, like I'm not seeing the Caleb Williams yet. I'm not seeing certain players develop. I mean, there's time. I'm not
Right.
exaggerating, but you know, Jaden Daniels made that step already, and now I'm seeing Drake May make that step. I do love watching the young quarterbacks, the future of, you know, who's going to be those next greats. There is some, and Drake May has every possibility of being that, and
Right.
and I'm saying I believe he will be.
When you think about the quarterback classes from the past and how they haven't panned out, we were ripping that class with Darnold. Darnold's now good. How about the class with Baker? Baker's good. Josh Rosen was the only flop in that one.
Oof.
So, yeah, there's a lot in there. Imagine you're the team. You're the Arizona
What's
team.
Josh Rosen
that
doing
pick-
like right now? Like as we speak, like what does he do with his life?
Would you like to supersize that value meal?
that
Right.
was dick.
I know. It's terrible.
so
move.
dick.
I was the only thing that came to my mind.
He made
I
it-
apologize, Josh.
No,
could
we
be a
don't.
could be
You
a
made-
rabbi at this point. I don't
He
know.
made millions.
Oh, no. He
by
made a
doing
lot of
nothing.
money. Right.
Right.
Practice squad guy for a couple of years with a nice $40 million contract.
And laughing at everybody.
He's laughing at me. I'm
Right.
not laughing at him right
Correct.
now. Okay. I'm doing the fantasy football show. He's in the Bahamas probably at this point. All right. He's going to finish the season as the top player overall in fantasy. He resides in Atlanta, and his name is Bijan Robinson. Yes or no's?
Ooh. Yes.
I like
yes.
it.
I can't
Very
believe
good.
he's the best weapon in football.
He is.
He's the best weapon. He is. I know he's not the same shape and has the same body type, so don't get me wrong, but his catching ability, he is got every ability to be the Marshall Faulk
Right.
of the world.
Good word
and the
there. Good name
Ladainian
there.
and
Yep.
the Ladainian Tomlinsons. Again, different type of running backs, Le'Veon Bells, but the type of guys that completely could dominate receiving, rushing, scoring, all of it. I do really think Jonathan Taylor is great, but overall, Bijan Robinson will end up number one.
He's the clear-cut wide receiver one. He resides in Chicago, and he's a must-start every week, and his hair comes out of the back of his helmet. His name is Rome Odunze.
He's
Yes or no's?
He is what?
Wide receiver one must start every week in Chicago. Yes or no?
In Chicago
Yeah.
for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I'm not in fantasy.
Yes,
I did
he
not
is.
say the words in fantasy.
Okay, I'm just
Right.
look. I could get. You guys know your comments. I say one thing in here, my head gets bitten
Right,
off.
good,
So I gotta
good,
make
yeah.
sure I know what's going on. Yes, Odunze is the number one wide receiver there. He is ahead of DJ Moore.
Right.
Luther Burden is a really good,
good.
wide receiver out of
Right.
Missouri. Fan of his, but overall, Odunze. If I'm in a keeper league, for example, okay, if I'm in that kind of league, I'm really excited about it because he's a keeper type talent. He's really good.
He's a really good
Yeah,
player.
he's really
fun to watch.
And they're featuring him.
He's back to being a reliable tight end in the league, maybe even top 5 at that position. His name is Travis Kelce. Yes or no's?
Based on the tight end position and how Memphis Bleak it is, yes.
Memphis Bleak, well done.
Travis Kelce resides around the 5 to 7 overall, but Rashee Rice might really, really, really screw that up for him.
Right, yeah.
So let's keep an eye on it.
Okay. I like that also. Rashee Rice coming back is really scary.
I started off the show with it. That's how excited I
I
am.
know, I know. It really is.
I own him everywhere.
All right, it's time to find a new option if you have Bo Nix on your team. Yes or no's?
Ooh, it's a good question.
It's a Kobe special.
Yeah.
I know.
Because I think
one
because
hits-
he,
this one
has
hits home.
because he has Bo Nix.
Nose. Well, how do
I
you?
was just thinking about that. I didn't even put it together yet. He has Bo Nix.
And
Is
no,
it time for Kobe to move on at this point?
Nose.
All right, okay.
No,
All right.
I mean, look, depends on Kobe. Let's bring in. Who's your other option to start?
No one.
Right. That is the only quarterback.
I'll
on
tell
that
you who's on
roster.
the waiver wire.
I'll tell you, Bo Nix is better than nobody.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah. That's,
So that
right.
you bring me in for the big boys,
Right,
big bucks,
right.
the brains, like
Right.
the big brains on Brad. Bo Nix is better than nobody.
Who are the top 2 waiver wire quarterbacks you could pick up instead of Bo Nix? I'm actually interested to hear that. Sidebar, as I
That's
like
not a
to say
sidebar.
here.
It's actually
Right.
weirdly
Part of the question.
an intelligent question, which I don't like.
I'll
that
give
you're
you.
Thank you.
I'll give you the top 5 available.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Caleb Williams, Aaron Rodgers, Tua, C.J. Stroud, Spencer Rattler.
So the only player that I would consider over Bo Nix is Caleb Williams based on, I still believe with Ben Johnson that offense will get it clicking. But right now, Bo Nix is still your best bet over all of those players. But it's not by much. It's not by much, Kobe. All
right. Question number 8. Cam Scatterbu will finish the season as the highest performing rookie in fantasy. Yes or no's?
Knows. I mean, we don't know the severity of Ibuka's injury,
right?
But right now he's ahead of him quite a bit. Knows. I don't think he's going to be the number 1 rookie overall, top 5 rookie overall. Absolutely, though.
This one's gonna hurt. Is it time to finally call Chase Brown a fantasy bust? Yes or no's?
Yes. Nosebleed.
Yeah. It's
Not nose candy.
It's a bad one.
I was on the nose candy to make that call because it's a nosebleed.
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
we got that.
Now we put that out there. Right.
That
good,
sugar
right.
I'm not a fan of,
Right.
but I must have been on it or my wife must have slipped it into something to get me freaky.
It's called booger sugar.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a bad miss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
bad one.
It's called a nosebleed. And
Yeah.
Chase Brown, fantasy owners, I apologize. The offensive line's a disaster. Joe Burrow going down was the real reason why this is a horrible thing. So I'm going to put the blame on that injury.
It's tough. It's a tough one there with Chase Brown. All right, it's going to bring us to our life question today, which is the advice question.
Oh, God. Yes.
Because I was thinking about this the other day. I remember, and you could probably remember this too, right after the wedding, right after the Nose and Mrs. Nose's wedding, right after I got married to my wife, there was a lot of pressure on that first holiday kind of gift. That first holiday together as a married couple. You could have been living together for years, but now it's different. When that ring goes on her hand and your hand, it's a lot different. For Kobe, it's different also. How big does Kobe have to go first holidays here?
So we're talking Christmas.
Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever. I don't care what it is. This big holiday season coming up. How big does Kobe have to go without looking like a cheapskate at that point?
I got you, Kobe. I got you.
Right.
Okay.
I'm excited to hear this because I don't know where Nose went with this one. I know where kind of I did with this one, and I went way overboard as a broke man also. But what happens here with Kobe? How does he not screw this
Kobe's
up?
like coming to see me right now. He's interested. He's like
making sure the cameras are
he
on.
is locked in right now.
Right.
Make sure the camera battery.
The answer.
We're at 80%. Take your time, Nose. We're at 80%.
The answer is not what you're going to expect.
Okay.
The answer is not what you expect. Where you go big, Kobe. Okay. Where you go big is your 1 year anniversary. And that's where you spend your money.
Right.
You ask the wives' girlfriends on the side what they think. You involve whatever. It's a mother, if it's a mother-in-law, you involve other people. This is called playing the game. This is not hard. Send 5 texts one night when you're taking a crap and just say, hey, I want to do something special for my wife on our 1 year anniversary, and I want your advice. So everybody's sort of involved in it. And so when the girls start talking, oh, yeah, Kobe reached out to me, and it shows effort. Yeah. That's the key. And that's even what I'm doubling down on that. For the holidays, if that's before your 1 year anniversary, which it is, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. You just got to show, again, I'm using the word, effort. And let me tell you something. Effort sometimes could be tricked. We could trick the females into the effort. So what you want to do is show her a present that took time or took thought. It's not about money, Zach, okay? Anybody right now could go out there and, I don't know, buy a bag for a girl and spend the money and just drop it on them. And they might love that. And that might be your wife's thing. But it's about showing effort. So what you want to do, again, is you want to involve other people. You want to make it a story that you really put your time into this. And if that does take time, or if that you guys have incredible videos, use Max, for example, and put together old clips of your wife with her family at Christmas, or you guys when you came together. Make a video, make it special by putting in what they perceive as effort. But really, you're just fucking telling Max what to do, and you're looking up some videos.
Right.
Micromanage, delegate down. Make it seem like you're giving everybody, a little bit of a say in what these presents are, and just overall have her gush because you cared and you tried, and that's the key.
How big does Kobe have to go for that 1 year anniversary, the first one?
Again, when it comes down to it, I believe it's really more of the effort than the money is spent. Now, again, I don't know your wife. I don't know if she's needy. I don't know what she's really interested in. But you know what she likes in general. If she likes to travel, then let's go on a weekend and let's travel. And let's start with our celebration of our 1-year anniversary in a beach at the Ritz in Naples. It doesn't matter. You know what she likes. If she's a Disney person, go take her to Disney. Before you even have the kids, you put in your time, take a deep breath, but it's the 1-year anniversary is more important than the holiday. And that is where I'm going at.
It was well played by you.
Nose.
That's really good advice.
Great advice.
That is really good.
I've been conning my wife for 25 years.
I know.
Okay? If she
figured
hears
you're the
this, she'll look
perfect
at me
person.
like, yeah, he's probably right. You
Right.
know, like, it's act as if.
I like the fact that we're doing
Fake
life
it-
advice for
Fake
Kobe.
it till you make it.
a good
Act as
segment.
if.
This is good. It's a good,
Good
segment.
segment.
This could be a whole just segment by itself.
I think I'm done here before I get in trouble.
Yeah, you're good. No, you did well. I think actually the wife would be very appreciative of your answer for Kobe also. I think mine would be also.
Okay.
The effort is a huge word in that.
But what I'm suggesting is we say effort, but we could do it without putting in effort.
Doesn't matter. The effort word is there.
The trick effort.
Yes.
Okay.
The trick of the whole, what the entire equation you just put out there was, wow, somebody put some real effort into this gift, and I appreciate that. When you don't have to put that much effort.
He could be on the bathroom. He could be taking a Seminole right out of his butt.
Right.
Okay, and he
Wow.
could send five.
Right.
He could send 5 texts to her, literally her wedding party, mother, and all of a sudden his job is
Right.
done. He's also going to get feedback
Genius.
as to what maybe they should they recommend.
Right.
And you just keep winning, and that's how you keep going. That's how you keep getting laid.
Right. I'm proud of you, Nose. That was well
Isn't that
done.
what this is all about?
Right. I mean, all said and done, yeah.
Okay.
We're trying to win a fantasy league, so we're not trying to win a fantasy league in Kobe's house right now.
No, we're not.
So let's try to get him laid. All right. That's going to bring us to the end of our program, which means it's time for the nose pick
Oh,
of the
I
week.
forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you still have to come up with that as
Yeah.
well. That's part of your job here and your job description here. Every week, Nose will give you a player that he likes to start. Thinks it's going to be a big one this week. Could be a bigger name player. Could be a smaller name player. You never know what Nose is going to give out here. And then at the end of each week, he'll give you that guy. And then we'll talk about it next week, whether it was nose candy or if there's a nosebleed.
Fair
We'll
enough.
see. That's what we do every single week here. So it is time here at the end of the podcast to let my man here have his mic, have his time. We usually had that. Remember back in the day, we used to have that Avengers music for you.
You did.
to start. We did. That was Garcia. Shout out to Garcia on that one as well. But it is time. It's time at the end of the podcast for the nose pick of the week. Nosy, the mic is yours.
And I'll take the mic. And we're going to go with one that has been a hard decision for the last 2 to 3 weeks. But for this week, I'm recommending you starting him. For all those Quentin Tarantino fans, it was Kill Bill. And that is Bill, which is nicknamed for Jacory Krosky and Merritt. And we will never say his name again.
Never.
Because I just simply love Bill.
Can we call him Kill Bill for the rest of the season?
Kill Bill.
Done. And
2 weeks ago, 14 rushes, over 100 yards. Last week, 17 rushes, 61 yards, tougher matchup. This week, at Dallas, on the turf, weak defense. Kill Bill is going to kill that Dallas defense. Give him a start. Again, I've been wrestling with him. Do I start him or not? Running back 2, flex. And he's been on the bench from time to time. Not this week. He is a must start. He is the nose pick of the week.
I like his nickname too. Kill Bill is going to be a go on there. All right, that's going to do it for us
Works
here
for us.
on radio and the Nose Fantasy Football Podcast. I can't believe we're in week 7, right? That's where we're in week right now. Amazing. We're almost halfway through. We're almost there. I wish we'd go a little bit slower. I'd like it to be 47 weeks of NFL fantasy football instead of just 17 at that point.
This is
as well.
fun.
It is a lot of fun. All right. For Kobe in the back, for the Nose himself, I am Radio. Welcome to Radio's Yard, the Live at a Dollar Podcast Network. This is Radio and the Nose Fantasy Football Show. Make sure if you're listening just to the audio that you tell everyone to subscribe, whether you're getting it at Apple, Spotify, wherever you do get your audio podcasts. And if you're watching us on the YouTube channel, make sure you click that little button underneath that says you like us or not like us. It doesn't matter at that point. And leave a comment whether you love Nose or not, whether you love Kobe or not, whether the advice for Kobe or not is good. We'll take it all. We'll take all your comments, all your criticism. We love it. And every single week, Nose comes in here and talks about it. So make sure you get in there. Thanks again for watching, for listening, the whole deal. This is Radio and the Nose Fantasy Football Podcast on the Live at a Dollar Podcast Network.